Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode counting down Mate Nason's my top 100 games of all time that I love to play. This episode, we're counting down number 40 to 31, so let's get to it. Number 40 is a worker placement game called Barbarians The Invasion. This game came out in 2018, currently ranked in the 2000s on BoardGameGeek.com. This is a worker placement game where you are setting your workers down on a volcano where your actions are selected. And the path you set your workers on these volcano tiles is going to dictate your next turn's available actions as you are working down the steps of this volcano. So you can try to plan out your turn, but you can also get cards to help you manipulate this volcano as the rings of this volcano can turn. So other players can move the rings around and so can you. What you're basically trying to do is collect different resources in order to build a massive invasion force of barbarians. And then you're going to be taking an action to fight on this map. Now, you don't fight each other. What you're going to be doing is fighting these different villages, these different tribes that are on this continent map board, and then you'll be getting points for chaining together regions that you control. That's where about half your points are going to come from in this game, is trying to get a large region that you control that are all adjacent to each other. There are a lot of fun things you can do in this game, not just manipulating that volcano, not just fighting these different tribes and villages, but you are going to be upgrading your barbarians, excuse me. You can be upgrading your barbarians by buying larger shipping so you can go to farther continents in order to conquer these villages on these other regions. You can upgrade your tactical knowledge so that it is easier for you to defeat them. You also want to try to save up goods and resources because every round you're going to have a feast phase to get you some bonus points, or you'll be interacting with some gods and demons and devils from the Barbarians universe. Fun game. I love it. It's got a great solo mode. It's got a great interaction mode. It is Barbarians The Invasion, my number 40. Moving on down the list to number 39, we have a Viking game, and this is Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. Fire and Axe is going to be another game similar to Barbarians where you are trying to explore out this map. This game came out in 2004, currently ranked in the 1000s on Board Game Geek. And in this game, you are loading up your longship with different Vikings, making sure you have provisions for the supply, enough Vikings to conquer different regions, and then you'll be sailing out into the sea to raid towns and villages for glory points. And then after the towns and villages are raided, you can set up your own Viking settlements in order to get more glory points. What I love about this game is the turn structure is every turn you get 7 actions, which they count as 7 days. And it takes so many days to load up your boat, and then so many days to sail. So if you end up loading your boat with lots of Vikings, it's going to take you 7 days to put enough goods and Vikings on your boat. And then that's it. You don't get to sail. Or you can load your boat with just 1 or 2 Vikings and then use the remainder of those 5 days and just sail out really quick to do a quick raid or a quick settlement. So managing your actions, these turns you have, are very interesting. There are a lot of points in this game on far off regions like in Rome down towards the south part of the board, but it's going to take you many turns to sail there. So you need to try to decide how you're going to invest your time and your actions. Great game, Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. Number 38 is a hidden movement game, a one versus many game, and that is Spectre Ops. This game came out in 2015, currently ranked 340 on Board Game Geek. In this game, one player is going to be playing as the infiltrator. They are sneaking into this compound, and the other players are going to be playing the guards for this compound, trying to find that player before they can meet their objectives and escape. It is so much fun, such a great cat and mouse game. You'll be moving around as the infiltrator, hiding behind buildings, maybe trying to throw smoke bombs to obscure your movement, maybe show yourself in one area and then double back to throw the people off the chase. But it is so much fun to play the guards, the hunters in this game as well, because you'll be trying to set up perimeters, stake out to look down different hallways and investigate different buildings. The game has a lot of different powers. Each character has their own special ability that helps them either hunt better or infiltrate better. It's a game, I love to play this game back to back, everybody taking turns as the infiltrator. So much fun. It is a game where you'll be laughing around the table as you're doing this game. Spectre Ops, my number 38. 37 comes back to a genre of games that I personally love, and that is deck building, and this is Clank, the deck building adventure game. This game came out in 2016. It is ranked number 63 on Board Game Geek. This game has a fun theme, dungeon delving, a theme that I enjoy, even though a lot of people say it's overplayed. But what you'll be doing is deck building. You'll be buying cards to let you move faster. You'll be getting upgrades to carry more treasure and loot. You'll be getting minions to help you fight the baddies you'll see in this dungeon as you're running around trying to collect the treasure. A neat part about this game is it ends once someone gets out of the dungeon. So as soon as someone gets a treasure and they feel they maybe have enough points, they are going to beeline it to get out, and then it starts this, I think it's 5-turn countdown till the game is over. The clank about this game is as you're moving around, you're making noise, and you might wake up the dragon that'll come and attack you. So you can actually die in this game. But even if you die, as long as you don't die in the depths of the dungeon, you'll still be able to score your points. So it does have a push your luck element, but it's not too punishing as long as you pay attention to where you are. And that is Clank, the deck building game. Super, super fun. Number 36 is Orleon. It is a bag building game. Another game, I love these games where you are building up a deck, building up a bag in order to get your engine running. I love the choices that these games afford you, and Orleon is no exception. This game came out in 2014, and it is ranked number 25 on Board Game Geek. Orleon is a game where you will have your own board right in front of you, and you'll be pulling out different people from this bag, maybe farmers, maybe boatmen, knights, and then you will be putting them down on this board to open up actions for you. And these actions will allow you to maybe move your person on the board in order to collect more resources that will be worth points for collecting these sets. Maybe they will allow you to send other people to the town hall, which will give you points for sending them there and completing those different objectives on that board. You can upgrade your board with different technologies, which give you more actions that only you have, which is great. As you buy more people to put in your bag, you're moving up these other tracks that then give you more and more bonuses to help you in all these endeavors. Every round is going to have different things that happen, whether it's a taxing round that'll cost you money, or maybe a bonus round that'll let you do other things. There's so much going on in this game that is so much fun, but it's not overly complex. You're all just drafting, a lot of simultaneous turn taking, which is really fun. It keeps the game moving, and that is Orleon, my number 36. Number 35 is another worker placement game that I don't feel gets enough love that it deserves, and that is Lancaster. Came out in 2011. This is number 345 on Board Game Geek. Lancaster has a lot of traditional worker placement aspects, so I think makes it seem overlooked. You're putting your pieces, your knights down on these boards in order to collect nobles, which will give you more points at the end of the game. It also gives you voting power, because every round you're going to vote on new laws, and these laws give you more points. So you can try to be saving up these votes so you can kind of dictate how the scoring and stuff is going to happen. But what's great about this worker placement game is it's one of the few worker placement games that I have experienced where you can bump people off those spots. You can send higher knights and more squires in order to push someone off a space that they were on and put your knight on there. Or maybe you could send a high knight with a lot of squires to begin with so nobody can bump you off. You're also upgrading this little castle that you have in front of you that gives you more action selection that you can send your workers to that only you go to, or if you upgrade it, those actions just happen automatically without you sending a worker there. There's also some combat that you can do in this game, sending your knights to fight the French, which will give you some more bonus points as you defeat them. A lot of fun in this game. Lancaster, one of the great worker placement games, my number 35. Number 34 is an Eric Lang game that came out in 2018, and this is Rising Sun. Eric Lang, of course, famous for Blood Rage, Dice Masters, and Rising Sun is a sprawling, epic miniatures game. Not miniatures in the sense of miniatures combat, but it's just got these gorgeous miniatures that you'd be putting on the board. This game has a fascinating aspect where you will be joining together in alliances. You'll be selecting actions to move your troops around this board to control different regions to get those points for this area control game. But if you join in an alliance with someone, you can also get some of the bonuses when they select their actions. You can also break those alliances, which will give you a penalty, but also give you a perk. So alliances can be shifting on each round as well. The combat in this game is simple. You add up your points that are on there, but then there's a secret bidding where you can hire mercenaries for different amounts of money, and then you reveal it to see who ends up winning the combat there to get the points for those regions. Fun game. I've only played it with 4 players. It can play from 3 to 5, but 4 players has definitely been a blast every time I've done it. That is Rising Sun. My number 33 is another overlooked worker placement game. This game just came out in 2019, and that is Terra Mara. And this game has one of the most interesting twists on worker placement that I have seen. Not only is there a central worker placement board where you'll be doing traditional things like gathering resources to build these technology cards, which give you your points, but there are several tracks that you need to be upgrading on as well. And you can't do it all, but you will want to. There's a war track that gives you more points. Also, higher up on the war track lets you put your worker down on worker placement spaces that have other people on it. And if you're lower on the war track, then you can't go to other places where people are. So you need to invest in that track. But there's also this river track that helps you unlock more workers and lets you draft more of these technology cards. You need those for the points. And then there's also this caravan track. You need to go down this caravan track because that unlocks even better worker placement spaces. And if you don't move your caravan down there, you won't be able to go to these other worker placement stages. Every round, more worker placement stages will come unlocked, and other ones will get locked as they're flipping as the rounds go. You can send your workers out into the future to future rounds to get those excellent actions, but then they don't come back until those rounds. So you need to be making decisions of, okay, should I stick in this round's actions? But gosh, that round 4 looks so juicy, and if I get that, I could really get some points right now, but I won't get my worker back for 2 or 3 turns. Fascinating decisions in this game, and that is Terra Mara. Highly recommend it, number 33. My number 32 game is a classic game. Originally came out in 1979, and then it was reprinted in 2012 with a different theme, and then it came out again to its original theme just this past year, and that is Rex or Dune. Rex Final Days of an Empire, or Dune, is a amazing area control game of shifting alliances, of backstabbing, very deterministic combat where you kind of know who's going to win, so you can really kind of judge if this is the right time to attack a certain region to get those points. Whether you play as Rex or as Dune, a lot of it is the same game, so you can kind of pick your flavor of what universe you enjoy. I like the Rex version myself because I'm a big Twilight Imperium fan. But this game is just great. Asymmetrical powers. Each faction that you pick from is a completely different game from your perspective. So there's a lot of replayability in that aspect. Tons of fun. Rex or Dune, a great game. To end the list, my number 31 game is a living card game, another 2-player asymmetrical card game. This is from designer Richard Garfield, and that is Android Netrunner. We talked about an earlier living card game, Game of Thrones 2nd edition. I mentioned Android is even better. I love the theme of this game. One player is going to be playing as this corporation, and they have these evil agendas that they are going to be trying to do. And if they can accomplish these agendas before the end of the game, they win. Or You can be playing as the hacker. You are trying to break into the computer mainframes of the corporation and steal their agendas. And if you can complete those agendas by stealing them yourself, you will win the game. The theme, this game is dripping with theme. As you're upgrading your computer defenses as the corporation, or as you are upgrading your hacking ability as the Netrunner, there is betrayals as far as misdirection of where you're going to go, where you're going to hack, where you're going to hide your agendas. The card play is straightforward and simple. The downside of this game, as in a lot of other card games, is it really shines when two players really know what they're doing and have built their own decks. And so it does take an investment from the people who want to play it, but it is worth that investment because it is that good. One of my favorite Richard Garfield games. This game is higher up than Magic the Gathering for me. Magic just missed being in the top 100, but Android Netrunner just shines with that two-player asymmetry. So there is my number 40 to 31, counting down Mate Nason's top 100 games. Go ahead and leave me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what games here you enjoy playing, or if you think they should be higher or lower. I'd love to hear that. And we will be back with another video soon. Thank you.